All right, so we've done limits, both the limit that tends to infinity and limit that tends to a normal natural numbers and integers. So right now, we want to do differentiation. We've done integrals as well. Integrals that deals with limit and the one that deals with without limit, right? So let's talk about differentiation, as I said. Now let's take for instance that you were asked to differentiate x squared. So as usual, press alpha x squared plus 2x. Okay, before you do that, first of all, clear your calculator as usual. So as I said, if you've been following this video from the beginning, you see that the kind of calculator I have on my phone, I won't be able to clear. But on your calculator, how to clear your calculator is to press um shift 9 3 equal to, and then you press your AC key. Shift 9 3, then you press equal to, then you press your AC key. Now when you've done that, you set your calculator in radian. Always, I prefer you to set your calculator in radian as well. How do you set your calculator in radian? Press shift mode 4. Remember that when you're done solving any question, always clear before you solve the next question. Don't forget that. Now let's go. So when you are done with all these procedures, the next thing you do is to now go ahead to differentiate. So the first thing you do is to check below your alpha. You see integral of the x. Remember, it is differentiation we are doing. So the next thing you do is to press shift that sign. Now when you press in your calculator, shift that integral dx. This is how it's going to appear in your calculator. Now the next thing you're going to do is to impute the differentiation question that they gave you. Let's say the differentiation question that they gave you was differentiate x squared. Let's say they asked you to differentiate x squared plus 2x plus 3. Let's say this is the question that asks you to differentiate. So what you do is you are going to assign a value. Okay, you are going to assign a value. So I prefer you to choose a very small number so that your calculator will be able to process it. Choose a very small number. Let's say you try to choose, I prefer to usually use 0.1. Let's say you choose 0.1. Now when you choose 0.1, it's going to give you an answer 2.2. That 2.2, write it down, hold that answer. That is what you are going to use to solve. Hold that answer. And as you're holding that answer, also hold that your x, that you had set your x to be equals to what? 0.1. Also hold that your x was what? 0.1. Now the next thing you're going to do is to press AC, come out. Now remember the procedure that we did when we were doing limits, right? That procedure. Good. Now that's what you do. So what you now do is you go to your options. You are going to go to your options. You are going to test option A, option B, option C, and whichever any other option that is going to give you that 2.2. Any option that gives you that 2.2, that is the answer to the equation. But we all know that the differentiation of x squared plus 2x plus 3, the answer should actually give us 2x plus 2, right? So we want to check if 2x plus 2 is going to give us the right answer. Now remember that this 2x plus 2 can be in any option. It can be in option A, it can be in option B, it can be in option C or option D. So what you do is that, let's assume that 2x plus 2 was my option A. So what you just do is to press 2x, 2 alpha x plus 2. Now remember that this thing I pressed here is assumed that it is in the option that was given to you. Now when you press this value, now press calc. Calc is below your shift button. When you press calc, you are going to have x is equals to what? Now remember that your x was equals to what? 0.1. You now press 0.1. 0.1. You press equal to. You see, when you press equal to, my answer was what? 2.2. That means that option that contains 2x plus 2 is actually the right option. Now let's take another example. Let's say that we are asked to differentiate y is equals to sine s cos x. Let's assume that they ask us to differentiate y is equals to sine s cos x. As usual, press shift the integral sign. It gives you this, right? Shift the integral sign gives you this in your normal calculator, in your casual calculator. This is what is going to appear. Now you impute the value of the value of what you want to differentiate. Let's say sine x. So sine x. So to get x, alpha x, then close the brackets, then cosine of x. So cosine alpha x. So this is assumed. Let's assume that this is what they asked you to differentiate. This sine x cosine x is what they have to differentiate. So we are going to assign a value as usual. Remember that your answer must be in your the value of remember that your calculator must be in radian. Always don't forget this. Your calculator should always be in radian when you are solving any equation that involves trigonometry. Any equation that involves what? Trigonometry. So now you input let's assume you choose a smaller number, let's say 0.1. So you let x to be 0.1. Now the answer that it gives you, that is 0.98. 0.98 is our answer. So hold this 0.98, hold it. Now what you do is, we know that when we differentiate sine x cosine x, it's going to give us okay, let me quickly run it here. So when you differentiate sine x cosine x, you are going to have um cos squared x minus sine squared x, right? If you differentiate sine x cosine x, you are going to have cos squared x minus sine squared x. Now it's assumed that you don't know how to differentiate, right? So what you just do is just go to the option, pick option A. Let's assume that your option A was cos squared x minus sine squared x. So come out, clear everything, come out, right? Choose any from option A. Choose option A. Let's say option A